now. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. We are the champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah. We are the fighting tide, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions of the night. Champions of the night. Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the fire falls down. One thing playing on our minds. Time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. I'm ready to love. We're the champions of the night. I'm ready to champions of the night.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rigged. After week 9 of the SSBL, I am Whitney, and with me this week is Fizek,
Hello, hello, hello.
And let us begin. So, week 9, day 1, we start off with Overdraft's Wrong Fielders. First game for the Overdrafts under new management of, I can't remember the name, of
Air Force.
Air Force. Welcome to the league, Air Force. And the Overdrafts battled with the Wrong Fielders in this one. It was a bit back and forth, but Overdrafts get the victory 9-5 here. Take a look at some of the stats from that game.
I'm pretty sure Wahlberger was close to a cycle that game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was 3 for 4. Had an RBI. Tanya Marzo 3 for 6. 2 for 3. Nick Straining. A couple people having a really good day. Let's see, pitching wise. Bamber 5 earned through 5 2/3. A bit on the high side there. But Jorge Tostada, coming off that injury earlier in the season, only his first or second appearance since then. Fairly clean there, 3 1/3, only giving up 2 base runners, a strikeout, getting the win. A really bad day for Hank Murphy.
I wonder how much of Hank Murphy's struggles are Hank Murphy's fault. You know what I'm saying? Because, he doesn't necessarily have the defense to back him up. I mean, just look at, if you look at the stats for the league, which I don't have pulled up for me yet, he is, second in the league in strikeouts, if I remember correctly. And part of that is because, he's there for a while, but if this will load and I can pull up, his actual stats here. We go, and then we go to his strikeout per 9 ratio. Murphy. There he is. He has a strikeout per 9 ratio of 6.68, which isn't the best in the league, but he still has 24 strikeouts this season, which is fantastic, especially when you consider he's a second year.
Yeah, 216 on the pitching specialists, 57, 69, 90. Only has 3 pitches. Four-seamer, curveball, slider. Maybe another pitch there gets him over the hump sometimes, but I do feel like he comes into some rough spots sometimes, and if it's been a good game for their opponents, if it's not that Hopper did bad, but comes into the game and the team's jacked from having a good offensive game, he's kind of already behind the 8 ball. But it's been both sides of the coin for Murphy. He had a really good start to the season, kind of meh, and then this kind of follows that up. 6 earned through 3 is definitely nothing to write home about, and no strikeouts in that game.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, this is something that we've known about the Overdrafts for a while, is that they're, a pretty decent team. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's the end of the world by any stretch of the means, and I don't think you would say that either.
And then another comeback game in game 2, after giving up 3 in the first inning, Wildcats battle back in the game against their second game against the Unicorns, win it 8-6.
That was a wild game to call, because the Unicorns they've just found a way this season. It doesn't matter who they're playing on any given day, they've just found a way. I don't know how they do it, but they just somehow find the extra gear and get it going, and it looked bad early. It looked very bad early, and somehow the Wildcats just relented and pushed through.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of the same thing for the Unicorns. They play up definitely pretty strongly to their competition, which we see later this week, next day actually. one of the one of the lesser performances from Lars Hunter, though. He's been fairly decent this season, but giving up 7 earned this season through 4 2/3. The park probably didn't help him much in this instance, playing at Tiger Den against a team that is as powerful offensively as the Wildcats are, able to smack things off the walls and whatnot. And then Wayne giving up another earned through 3 1/3. Botch Peppers got the start, gave up 5 through 5. And then the bullpen for the Wildcats shut it down. Hooper and Oldman going 4 innings combined, not giving up another earned run.
Yeah, Wildcats. I know. I know. Who was it? Aggie was saying that his team was like the season 5 Dragons. It's like, no, you were not the season 5 Dragons. You will make postseason. Like the Wildcats are gonna make postseason. It was just like it took them a little bit, and it was looking a little bit like it was gonna be the prophecy was foretold. But no, they have a much needed win after I think they went 0-2 last week. So this was like a much needed.
They had 3 straight losses because they lost to the Lumberjacks too. So coming off a bit of a harsh losing streak there, feels pretty good. Took a couple of changes to their lineup. I don't remember exactly what Whitney's gone from. I think he was in the first third of the lineup now, hitting middle of the order, and had a really good game. 3 for 4, had a home run, 3 RBIs. Chico Island bouncing back, 2 for 4, home run, a pair of RBIs. 4 home runs in this game. Baldwin Sluggington getting on the right track there with a home run. On to game number 3, we finally see the future, the future of the Stingers come to fruition. They finally put together a decent, cohesive game and absolutely just stick it to the Angels 13-2.
Yeah, like this has been coming for a while. Like the Stingers are nowhere. I mean, they have a positive win record this season, or a positive run differential rather. Right. This season, which is eons above where they were last season.
Oh, yeah.
So it's only a matter of time when they finally started to get it to click together. And against an Angels team that is not bad as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they brought up Delvecchio, and they still have 2 more down there, Pato Gold, and can't remember the other one. But yeah, things definitely looking good for the Stingers and the offense. Botley going 2 for 5. DeSalsa going 2 for 5 as well, had a home run. Let's see, Squash Pixel going yard twice, had 6 RBIs on the game. 3 for 5, 2 shots, 6 RBIs. That's a pretty fantastic game. And the pitching, shutting down Brent Rasputin, one of the old hens in this team. But Delvecchio coming in relief, getting the save, 3 2/3 innings. Looking at 4 base runners off of 3 hits and a walk, 3 strikeouts. I mean, can't ask for much more than that, honestly. We go to game number 4. Another comeback. Had 3 kind of comebacks in this day. Cyclones fall behind early 2-0, stayed 2-0 up until the bottom of the 8th. Cyclones tied it and then walked it off in the bottom of the 9th off of, was it Queen Khan? No, it was Raimundo Jackman who ended up getting the loss.
I think I forget. I think it may have been Raimundo. I don't know.
Khan went 7 1/3, gave up 2 earned, 6 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a home run given up. And then Jackman goes 1 1/3 in the loss, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 walks. Felix Fernandez with his best start of the season. He'd been getting shelled this season. I believe he had the start against the High Rollers where he gave up like 10 or something. So a bit of a role reversal for him, only giving up 2 through 5 2/3. And then Nori Aru going 3 1/3 perfect, 4 strikeouts. That's hard to believe, honestly.
It's
Especially,
again like this turns out you don't need velocity. I don't know, man. I don't know. It turn it on when it needs, especially for this Cyclone squad. That again, like I feel like they're in the same boat as the overdrafts. They're in a little bit of a better boat than the overdrafts in terms of like what they can do next season and seasons beyond. But they are not in a bad boat, and they are finally starting to get the results that they need now.
hmm see who had the. It was Caleb Halford that had the game winner, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Game-winning RBI came in for. Oh yeah, and not to be overlooked, we had a ton of injuries this day, didn't we? We had Jet County who went down. How long is he out for?
Jet. Yeah. So if we pull up the injuries here for week 9, day 1, we had 3 injuries this week. All of them on week 9, day 1. Bailey Curtis had a pulled hammy, but she's not going to miss any time because she stayed in the game, and the Rom Fielders don't play until this upcoming Tuesday. Jet County will return on Tuesday. I think they need to. I think they did make a call up as well.
Yeah,
They
I think they
called,
did.
if I remember correctly, they called up Smash Perkins, so he's gonna miss 1 game.
So he'll miss the
Um,
first Schools of Rock game next week, but we'll be
yes,
back
but
in
he will
time
be
for the
back for the
second.
second. And then Jose Odor is gone until the last game of the season for the
Dang,
Unicorns. So if
that's
they had a hope of finding a way to sneak into postseason, which would have been tough for them as is, especially with that loss of the Wildcats. But imagine if they had beaten the Wildcats. So all of a sudden they're sitting at 5-6, a half game back from postseason. I know that they're not trying, but losing Odor would have felt a lot worse
mm-hmm.
then.
It honestly may be a bit of a silver lining for them, come to think of it. All right, we jump into day number 2, and day number 2 was kind of filled with a handful of surprises. And right off the bat was Skulls beating the Ball Players 4-3. Ball Players only runs come off of solo shots. Merv Kelly. Oh, actually, I might have misspoke later in the week. I think that puts Merv Kelly up to 6 home runs on the season. I didn't realize he had 2 solo shots. I think he has 6, and I think Tank Tygo also got up to 6 later in this week. So I think we have 2 leaders tied at 6. But 3 for 5, 2 shots from Kelly. Harry Shelton also goes yard, and then not a whole lot else to speak of from the Ball Players. Morgoon 4 for 5 on the day, 2 RBIs. One of the main contributors, a pair of hits from Ding Dong and Banjo Hackett. Pitching, Ron Dozier only goes 3 1/3. Early pull gives up 3 earned, 7 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And Walker goes the rest of the way, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 1 earned, a walk, 3 strikeouts. Of all the things, Walker has probably had I mean, not that she was bad in the first half of the season, but she wasn't quite as good as like you would think she should be. But I feel like this later part, like the second half of the season, she's really kind of performed a lot better.
Yeah, and it's a time in which they need it as well. Um, it's tough to differentiate between these two teams, to be honest, because like you have the Ball Players who are a game out. What's up, Puppet? Who are I believe a game out um of
Kind of,
that 6th spot, and then the Skulls of Rock are also technically a game out
yeah.
as well, and that is close, especially if you look at who like the Cyclones have remaining. They've got 2 games against the Skulls, and the Wildcats, and then the Unicorns, and that's a Unicorns game in which Jose Odor will be back. So like this game was huge for both sides, and I think it hurts worse if you're the Ball Players, especially given like the games that they have had this season. Now they close out with the Stingers and then the Serpents, so a little bit of an easier potential ending, but it's a huge loss for them regardless.
And the playoff picture is just super messy for both conferences. I was going to talk about that towards
Oh
the
yeah,
end.
let me we can talk about that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'll update. Would you want me to update the division one, or do you want me to update the conference one? And I can work on that while we're talking.
You choose. I don't care. Whichever one you think would
Okay.
probably be easier. Um, Game number 2, we go to another upset. Unicorns almost coming short of the Wildcats yesterday. Pull off the upset against the High Rollers, 5-3, and it's a bit surprising because Floston had come into this game and had pitched 5 perfect innings. Gave up a base hit, I think, pretty early in the 5th, and then up comes Bean Machine and ends up getting an inside the park home run because I think it was Piston Omen went for the slide diving catch, missed, and then with the center field as huge as it is in Shaka, it goes basically to the warning track. And I mean, that's pretty easy inside the park home run, no matter what your speed is. And then that was kind of the nail in the coffin. Like, that was later in the game, so that was like 6th inning. And just the High Rollers, they threatened maybe a time or two afterwards, but they couldn't get it done. And it was almost kind of like a shock to the system. They were coasting and ended up biting them in the end.
Yeah, and that's the game as well that the Unicorns don't have Jose Odor, and they're able to get that win.
Who did they play at second even? Was it Bean Machine?
No. Bean Machine was DH. If we look at their lineup here, they had Keisha Phillips, who they called up from the minors, because they're very deep, so they have plenty that they can call up.
Struck out 11 times and still won.
Oh wait, she struck out 11 times.
No, the Unicorns as a team struck out 11 times.
Gotcha. That's wait, what? That doesn't check out. Let's do divisions first.
And then Bob Homer, of all people, gets a quality start. 6 innings pitched, only give up 3 earned runs. 9 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Flowers goes 2 1/3, only gives up a hit and a walk. And then Golden comes and gets the last 2 outs of the game. And that's a hard pill to swallow for the High Rollers with the week they had last week, beating both me and the Wildcats. So we're more or less in the driver's seat, kind of had destiny in their hands. And then this loss makes that division just a big old mess again. Like, it's still kind of anyone's division still.
Yeah, and if you look at the earned runs, the Unicorns as of last week have given up 60 runs, 10 home runs, and an ERA of 7. If you bring up looking into next season, if you bring up those pitchers, this is a very different Unicorn squad.
Yeah, they've got
which I think is like think about all that they're accomplishing right now with the pitching staff that they have right now, and what is going to be coming up next season, when quite literally every single pitcher in this Unicorns rotation right now, in the bullpen, on the mound, long reliever, quite simply every one of them could be replaced by next season.
I mean, yeah, they have a full 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, they don't have a full, but a nearly full.
They
minor
used to,
squad.
and then they made some trades.
Yeah, and it includes a 264 Maple Sparks, Rin Rowe, who is over 210 now, and then you've got rookies like Doku Shi, and I mean, even Maple Sparks is a rookie. Archibald Longshanks, who could get camps. I don't think off the top of my head they've used any camps, so these, they could make a couple more of these pitchers go over the 200 mark, and just the Unicorns could be loaded for bear coming into next season if they want to be, which, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be. I mean, yeah, you could pad on a few more for a couple other people, but I think you're probably pretty good off like after this season. Be interested to see what they decide to do. Then how many innings did this next game go? I think it was like 12 or 13.
Went forever.
And it
And
was
you
like,
wouldn't think of it based off of the score line, but it went, and that was when Chicken Hot Dartboard went 10 innings.
yeah, set a record, like most innings pitched in a single game. 10 innings, only 1 earned run, 9 hits, 1 walk, a whip of 1, had 3 strikeouts, gave up 1 home run. Grogu goes 2 1/3, only 1 earned. Got into a jam, got out of it, and then but does give up the loss because I think had given up a walk, had walked. I think it was Alex Hatman, and then Zelda Narwhal came in and couldn't finish off the inning, and that's when the Knights put up 4, I think, in the last inning of the game, and just the Retrievers could not answer. They had their chances. They had like a couple of innings there with, I think they had an inning with the bases loaded. I think they had an inning with like at least runners on at least second, maybe even third, and just couldn't get one last base hit. Dante Smalls getting the win for the Knights, 4 2/3, giving up only 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Really kind of saved the day for the Knights.
Yeah, and that was a tough game to watch because obviously I'm wanting the Retrievers to pull it out, and they have such a good showing, especially keeping those. It's very hard to keep those bats quiet at any stretch of of time, and they just weren't able to pull it out as well. Just 1 inning too many.
Yep. We go to the last game of the night. Vikings get a division win. Have they swept the Walkers, or do they still have another game with the Walkers?
They might have swept them. Yes, they swept 7-5 in the first game, 5-1 this game. So they Vikings sweep the Walkers for the season.